It is time to have that conversation. Listen, it's okay to have your own opinion. You're entitled to it. But the truth is objective. It's not subjective. You can't switch it around. You can't rewrite it. You can't do nothing about it, okay? It's obsolete. It is what it is. And you're going to watch this woman on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy talk about the current mindset of the black community in America. Let's dive into this.
My father was a military. He was a mechanic. He was a bus driver. He was a police officer.
So he was exceptional. Your father was exceptional.
My mother worked at Guardian Life Insurance. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, first person to graduate from college, and my parents put me through college. So I don't look at them as mediocre. I don't look at them as average. They are exceptional, and they did what they do to get their kids through all this stuff.
What you said is so different than what I'm talking about.
I am the same with them, and I am the same.
And that is just not intellectually honest.
And the difference is what you said is, oh, you want to encourage and you want to do this. I do the same thing without putting people down.
Ebony, what about words like average, mediocre, mediocrity, typical, and the bigotry of low expectations? I think those are the words that hurt the working class.
You can sit here and say, no, I didn't hurt nobody. You hurt people out there that buy your books and follow you and support you.
You asked me to be quiet. Y'all, please. Y'all asked me to be quiet. I listened to your full statement. I understand you have a feeling about it.
And now that you talked for 22 minutes, and I just spoke for 60 seconds.
She is here to talk to us.
I know, but I'm just saying, I just spoke for 60 seconds.
We got ours off already. Let Ebony talk.
I'm just returning what she said.
But
don't act like I didn't let her speak. She spoke for 22 minutes.
Go ahead, Ebony. Let her talk. Don't do that. Let her go. Go ahead.
So, Envy, this is where we're different. My primary focus and goal when I do what I do in the world is not to protect feelings. I'm going to be candid with you. I understand it's clear from the energy that there is an emotional attack that you felt was on black men, the working class, and black America. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hold the space for the hurt feelings around that. But more than I care about hurt feelings, I care about providing my people with facts and information that say that the current way of life for the majority of black Americans is not serving us. I'm going off of the data and the facts. That is, I am not okay, and I don't think it's okay, that the vast majority of black Americans, again, overpopulate, disproportionately occupy spaces that are not ideal, that make us vulnerable. I talked about the COVID, that make us vulnerable to death, disease, maternal health, all the things that y'all all talk about on this show every day. Now, if y'all are okay with the current positioning of black America, that we are the lowest income, the lowest home ownership, the lowest educated group, then so be it. And let's just stop talking now and keep on going about our business. Envy, I'm not okay with it. So that is why I said what I said about addressing the bigotry of low expectations. It's the bigotry of low expectations is the reason why I have to submit that black men are now going to HBCUs and college and generally at half the rate of black girls and women. I don't think that's okay.
Shouldn't we address the system that put us in these positions?
We are addressing the system, but first we have to name it, Charlamagne. See, that's where people's feelings are getting hurt, is the fact that I am naming it. I am saying that it is not okay to bring C's and D's through to your home and then expect to go on to higher education and acquire a higher skill set. And when you say that, that is hurtful to people, Envy. I'm acknowledging the pain. But somebody has got to start telling the truth to our people. And some of y'all wonder why you get the political representation y'all get, because some folks would rather hear things that make them feel good than understand and hear the things that are the truth. So let's talk about average, mediocre, and typical. Because a lot of people felt a way about it. Well, I looked it up. I did the service of pulling it up out of Merriam-Webster. So this is not Ebony shitting on anybody, Envy. This is simply to say when you do something average, by definition, it is of typical value. It is normal and it is standard. When you are regular, normal, acceptable. When you are mediocre, that would have people real hot. It means ordinary, medium, commonplace, and moderate.
And the bigotry, don't forget the bigotry of low expectations.
I'm going to get to that. That's an academic study. Okay, so those of you that think that's George W. Bush, go do your reading. Go do your reading. But let's talk about those words, Charlamagne. Nothing in there says you ain't shit. Nothing in there says it's bad or low or beneath.
They've applied the negative connotation to
that's a projection, and I'm not going to stand for it, because you need to be honest with the actual semantics in which we're talking about. So when you say regular, hardworking, everyday people, Charlamagne, that is rhetorically not any different than me saying average, mediocre work.
I
not
disagree
the
because those words can be weaponized. Just like the word basic has been weaponized. I can call y'all basic. I can call y'all basic B's, and y'all be.
But there's a negative connotation.
You call me mediocre, I'm out the room.
But also,
see, I made a whole song called I don't want no mediocre.
But also, we've done that with the N-word. We've done it with the word whore. There's negative connotations to a lot of words, and if someone calls it to you, I get that. But
we reclaim the word whore. You are talking about something totally different.
But what I'm saying is,
nobody is reclaiming average and mediocre.
Even when she brought up C's and D's in school, academically, a C says you're average.
That's exactly what it means.
I don't know why that's a problem being average.
Because people,
Mandy, accepting C's.
I'm going to tell you.
I don't think essential workers are average. I don't think essential workers are average.
Let me finish this statement.
I don't think Uber drivers, bus drivers, I don't think any of those people are average or mediocre.
I'm not saying.
So far, you see Envy be very catty with this woman, Eboni Williams, who they brought to the show. And she's very, very upfront and very assertive, by the way, without being disrespectful at all about her viewpoint. And she's putting it in his face. She's not even trying to do the whole expose a gotcha. She's just simply responding to the semantics in which he's trying to go with. He's trying to paint it as if she's trying to, for lack of a better word, shit on people who live mediocre by definition, meaning average lifestyle, and expecting higher things, or have higher expectations for, let's say, materialistic things, money, and things from the world, the system, but they are not playing their role. How do I say this? They're not performing at the level that they're demanding they be treated as. And this is why we have a problem with affirmative action and DEI hires and all that type of stuff. But we'll dive into that after we finish this clip. This video today is brought to you by MidasGoldGroup.com. Now, I know it's evident that things are becoming increasingly chaotic in society as it relates to politics, and the government is grappling with a substantial ongoing debt issue. And it's this turmoil that may have an impact on our banks and financial situation. There is this push from our government and financial institutions to eliminate cash transactions and transition to a central bank digital currency. This would allow them to be able to spy on every last transaction. Scary. Exactly why it's crucial to diversify some of your investments and also secure your savings, especially in this era. And the individuals that I rely on for hedging against this current corruption are the experts over at the veteran-owned MidasGoldGroup.com. For over a decade, they have been assisting patriots nationwide in safeguarding their wealth and families through physical gold, silver, and other precious metals. And just to reiterate, gold has withstood the test of time for over 5,000 years, speaking volumes about its reliability. Real quick, pull out your phone and text Kingdom to 232425 and get you some free silver. Don't hesitate. You can also reach out to Midas Gold Group at a number displayed on the screen right now, or you can visit MidasGoldGroup.com. Look, I understand when you're trying to get your gold, you ain't trying to deal with no pushy commission-based salesman. Instead, I want you to connect with one of the veterans at Midas Gold Group, where you can even communicate directly with one of the owners. Decades of experience in the gold and silver markets. Now, I don't want you to miss out, so I'm gonna remind you one more time. Text Kingdom to 232425 right now, or call Midas Gold Group at 480-360-3000. Or lastly, visit them at MidasGoldGroup.com right now. Tell them King sent you.
The people are average, so let's slow it down.
I don't think the job is average.
The job is average.
I don't think
the job is average by definition. It says that most people can do it per the skill set. It also speaks to the income it commands. It speaks to scarcity and demand.
So
that's what we're talking about.
That are holding college degrees that have to drive Uber right now because
they're doing mediocre work. So Weezy, let me be very clear as to what I'm not saying. No, y'all got to listen to this. I am not saying that a piece of paper makes you a more valuable individual. I didn't say that. I don't believe that. I prove it to you. I let a lawyer go because when I was ready to go, where I was trying to go and vacation with him, your particular way of practicing law did not allow provision and protection.
But I think what's the real question is, if C's and D's aren't good enough, and you're saying that a higher education
are good enough?
What I'm saying is, you're saying a higher education also doesn't mean that. Then what do they have to do to be excellent? Because
exceptional.
I'm someone who did have C's, B's, A's. I own 3 businesses. I'm sitting here with all of y'all, and shit, we all make 7 figures. Maybe I'm on the lower end of this as a mediocre person. It's like,
you don't know what I make. I don't make that kind of money.
I mean, why are you lying?
He probably makes 8.
Listen, you couldn't tell him about
Weezy. But Weezy, did you hear my story about my mother? Weezy, she doesn't have a college degree. My grandfather didn't, but she never did it.
I did hear about your mom.
Right, so she's not mediocre, but when she drove that bus, she was doing mediocre work. We can call her up and she'll say that. And that is the framing.
But what do they have to do to surpass it then for you?
You have to do something, not for me.
But by
This
your
is for the
standards, because
culture.
if Charlamagne is saying it's not mediocre or average,
Gotta
and the
go
people
hard.
listening feel like they're not, by your
Okay, I
That's
just
a good
want
question,
people to
Ebony.
stand on it.
Like,
I want people to stand on it. If you are a person, and we're talking about Black America, and you feel as if you have maxed out your skill set, whether it's in the classroom or when you wake up in the morning and do whatever it is that you do, then God bless you, and I support and love you. I am talking to Black people that I know have a potential skill set that is untapped. So that's the difference between mediocre and exceptional. Not the piece of paper, not even the income. It's, are you complicit and complacent in what you are doing currently, or are you willing to go above and beyond and do the thing that most people won't do? By definition, we see that's where
above and
exception
beyond
lies.
could be the nurse that drives Uber on the side. I think that's why
Look,
I'm
my
like,
father was a military. He was a mechanic. He was a bus driver. He was a police
So he was
officer.
exceptional. Your father was exceptional.
My mother worked at Guardian Life Insurance. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, first person to graduate from college, and my parents put me through college. So I don't look at them as mediocre. I don't look at them as average. They are exceptional, and they did what they did to get their
What you
kids through
said
all
is
this
so
stuff.
different than what
And
I'm talking about.
And I am the same with them. And I am the same.
that is just not intellectually honest.
And the
what you're
difference
doing.
is what you said is, oh, you want to encourage and you want to do this. I do the same thing without putting people down.
I'm not putting people down.
You're not
I'm being
putting-
very
I think
honest.
you are, and
Envy.
people have been saying, I don't think you're listening. Like, as much as you talk, you're not listening to what people
I'm
are saying.
listening. I'm
You're
not bothered by that, though.
You're
I'm not
because
going to
people
be
are hurt
shamed.
and they have opinions. Just
Let's
like
make an observation real quick. He claims that she's doing a lot of talking but not listening. But whole time she literally said, "I'm going to hold a space, acknowledging your emotions about this." However, that's not okay. Oh, I don't think she said it at this point because they played the highlight clip in the beginning. And so she about to say it again, but she said, "Yeah."
you have your opinion. You can't talk over people and not let people talk.
But you're also interrupting me, Envy.
I'm not. I was talking. You keep talking to me. I let you speak, and then I just started talking.
You got it.
I just started talking. I let you speak, and I waited for you to be quiet, and I started talking. You heard something that you didn't like, and you cut me off. That's how it just
But
went.
because once you start
No,
being
now it's not-
intellectually
Here we
dishonest.
go. Now it's not Envy. Go ahead.
Now,
No,
come on.
that's exactly what
let's keep it.
happened.
Let's keep it.
No, but if I
cool.
give somebody the platform to speak, and I let you speak, then I speak. And you have to listen just like I listen. Just like with Weezy and Mandy, when they speak, I...
He waited for this moment. He just wanted to be able to say this back. Now, don't get it twisted. They both are interjecting or whatever the case, but he clearly was sitting back waiting on this.
Listen, it doesn't matter that we don't agree or disagree. We can have a conversation, but we got to respect each other in this
I
conversation.
agree.
I think
And
that
part of that respect is being honest.
Yeah,
And
I
I am
think
being
I think the
honest,
conversation is healthy. If you listen to the whole Ayanla interview, I get a better sense of what you're trying to say. But the doubling down is what threw me completely off.
What
'Cause
threw you off about it?
It did sound like you was shitting on the working class.
I'm not shitting on the working class.
And
Listen,
if you weren't, I
that
think you
is-
need to make that very clear.
Well, I've tried to make it clear with 3 different examples. I think y'all don't want to hear it. And that's okay, Envy. It's okay. It's like you said, it's okay to disagree. Okay? So we can argue semantics back, because that's really, at this point, this is an argument around semantics. This is not around intention. This is not around feelings. Because we talked about the data. We've gone to the dictionary to define the words. Now it is, I heard what you said, but this is how it made me feel.
So what is Eboni K. Williams trying to say?
I am saying plainly, Charlamagne, that I believe in maximizing skill sets for Black Americans. I believe in ownership, entrepreneurship, and multiple streams of income as a way tethered to our liberation as Black people who were brought here in chattel some 16, 19 year. And if that makes you feel a way, maybe it's time to do something about it. That's all. And many people are. So when Envy talks about this example of his father being in law enforcement and being a business owner and doing 3-4 things on top of that, that is nowhere near mediocrity. That is called exceptionalism. That is called a Black man availing himself to his highest calling and skill set. He talks about his mother and what she did. That is not mediocrity. By the way, there's nothing wrong with mediocrity. By definition, it's not bad nor good. It's mediocre. It is typical and it is regular. But if you are looking for me, if anybody is looking for me to put out a permission slip for people that look like me and come from where I come from, which is the diaspora, around average is good enough, medium is okay, just do enough to get by. No, I'm not going to make that soft place for you to land.
Woo! Man, that was a lot to unpack First of all, let me say this. DJ Envy bringing up his mom and his father and how they were able to raise him up to be the first to go to college. We salute that. That's something that's, exceptional, bro. Like, your parents worked hard, and then you talked about your father being a black man who did multiple things. He didn't limit his skill set. He went out there and made things happen to make the position that you're in possible. Like, come on, we should celebrate that. And those are the things that she's saying that we need to consistently promote to our community versus mediocrity, doing the bare minimum just to get by, doing the bare minimum and still expecting to be treated like you did the most. And people, it rubs them the wrong way when you can speak at them, but literally tell them nothing but the truth. And without doing it in a demeaning way, without doing it in a way to insult you, she really, bro, she held her own with class. Seriously. No shade thrown, none of that. And she even went as far as to acknowledge DJ Envy's story with his mom and his father. But they was not trying to receive none of the information that she was given at all. All she's saying is, hey, black people, look, we're capable. Instead of thinking that we're not, you have to start thinking that we are, because we are. We are. We are. All we have to do is continue to work hard. Let's just work. Let's put in the work. Let's go out there and grind for it instead of begging. That's not the side of the spectrum that we want to lean on anymore. Whether I agree with the political views or not, let's talk about it, bro. Like, we want to talk about the system, but look at the senates. Look at the mayors. Look at the attorney generals. Whether you disagree or like them or don't like them, you got Letitia James and Fannie Willis. You know what I'm saying? They black women, in these high positions. Now, we ain't going to talk about the specifics and all that, but yeah. Now, let me just say this, though. I don't advise we do anything corrupt to try to get in any position. And I also said earlier that I don't like the whole affirmative action or the DEI hired situation either. It's very demeaning to know that you're hired not based on your skill set, but based on your color and the fact that the company was trying to meet a quota. That ain't demeaning to you? That don't make you go, what? And, we as black people, we have this tendency to negate all the hard work that somebody outside of DEI hires. This is a separate subject. I'm going to make sure I say that. We have the tendency to negate all of the hard work that somebody puts in, a black person in particular puts in, to be able to work themselves up into a position the right way, the legit way, not on no DEI, none of that. And when that happens, guess what? Guess what's being said about that person? They're only in that position because the white people let her. What? I love this comment that Crystal wrote. If you raise the expectations, people will rise to the expectations. As long as we defend average, why would anyone rise above it? It's almost a cultural identity that should anyone challenge it, then they're being offensive. Are we afraid to do better because we don't want to look a certain way to the cultural masses? As we just got finished talking about, you work hard, then they start looking at you like the white man gave you this. Anyhow, are we afraid to do better because we don't want to look a certain way to cultural masses? Why is the first comment to a black person who achieves, quote, oh, you think you're all that now, end quote, or look at him, he's all college educated, think he's better than everyone? Seriously, but they're mad and defending not doing better. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.